and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. We're expecting a full house, and they are more than ready to get things started. Today, these two squads square off in a Conference USA showdown. As we'll see, the Sam Houston Bearcats taking on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. And the Hilltoppers will kick it away to start. And here's the return. The Bearcats offense will have the opening possession of the game. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Trying play action. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
Every offensive coordinator in the country, they come in the game, they have a script. They have a couple plays they want to go through to get their team settled in, get down and get in good third down situations, execute on third down. Nice start on this opening drive by the offense.
The Bearcats have it with a 1st and 10. Right back to the well. He stopped at the 49 after gaining 10.
Well, right away after picking up a 1st down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the back.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on 1st down. You're starting like that. Now what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
Rushes on him. Makes the grab. It's Porter. He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
And the Bearcats come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Here comes the heat. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
The Bearcats send out the punt unit. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 20. So Western Kentucky's offense will have its first possession of the game. There's a receiver who's going to draw some attention, Jesse, but really, he's just part of this whole offensive puzzle.
He hasn't been the most consistent guy when it comes to catching the ball for this offense this year, but he has had some big moments. He has had some big games as well. And, David, you know, from a roster standpoint, they're generally not going to overmatch or overwhelm anybody from the receiver spot, but this is a dude that can get it done.
I think that's the biggest point that you made. It's a guy that has the potential to make big plays. And if you're pointing to a guy, he is the one. Talking to coaches, like, they've seen flashes in big moments. They need to see it consistently, and it starts today.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Throws for the tight end. He's got it. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield. Receivers work tirelessly, tapping that toe along the sideline, and it just looks so natural for him.
Yeah, it can't just be pat and go all the time, right? Reese just jogging down the field, ball hits you right in stride. You got to be able to make awkward body catches and do it getting your feet in bounds. That was sweet.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Grabbed in the middle. It's Meyer. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. Got the quick pass. On the move at the 30. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they cover the final 54 yards with the explosive play in the passing game for 6. They are set to kick it off, and you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll bring it out. It's Phillips. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Quarterback on the keeper. Snowed under right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play.
Really nice job by the defense shutting down all the options. Don't let him get into his reading phase. Go get him right now, play sound, and more importantly, tackle him and get him on the ground.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Dropping back, it's Watson. Tosses it incomplete. And you don't want to start this game with 2 straight punts. Big 3rd down opportunity coming here. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain.
Really nice job by the defense there. You're trying to force the quarterback to throw the football in front of you and allow your guys to square up and make a tackle out in space. You got to force the ball carrier to do something special after the catch. Not able to do it there, so really nice tactic by the defense.
They booted away on 4th down. A fair catch is made right at the 50. Great field position for the offense. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Steps away to find some room. He'll pull it down. And he was greeted by a host of defenders and barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. That's the end of the quarter. Western Kentucky is on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Short throw to the sideline, picks up just a little. So the first step of that was fine. They made the pass and catch, but no yards, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, I don't know if they were anticipating pressure on that play and they just want to get it out of the hands of the quarterback quickly, but whatever they were thinking did not work.
The Hilltoppers will punt it away on fourth down. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll run it from the gun. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll run play action. Got his man downfield. All the way out to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 15.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Looking for a man. It's Watson. Gets open down the middle. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And I love when my quarterback sees zoned and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
Now on 2nd down. Back to pass. Shoots it to the left. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31, and a big pickup on that one.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
After that last loss, it's 2nd and 12. Wants to go up top. Grabbed over the middle. It's Humphries. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think on that last completion, it was a good example of that.
Here's a heat. And the quarterback goes down, but there is a penalty marker right at the line of scrimmage, and this may go against the defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but you still see guys jumping off sides all the time.
Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And the incompletion brings up a second down for this offense. Pulls and throws off the RPO. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And you really want to pay this drive off. This is a nice drive by this offense. Got to keep it going. Got to keep the foot on the gas. Obviously, trailing with a chance to tie this football game going into the half.
And the Bearcats come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Caught over the middle. It's Black. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6.
I got to be honest, guys. I'm a little surprised by the coverage on that play. It's 3rd and short. You can't allow a hitch route to pick up the first down. You've got to have way tighter coverage than that.
The Bearcats trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. Back to throw, it's Watson. Trying to find the end zone. Touchdown, Sam Houston. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And they did tack on the extra point, by the way, knocked it right down the middle. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown, and they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Pulled and fired complete. Tried to hit him with a quick game on 1st down, and nothing doing there.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I mean, I just lost yards on a screenplay. How does that happen?
We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Finds his man. It's Hampton. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their 1st of the half. You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
And a great job by the QB, finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the 1st down.
And the Hilltoppers will have it 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Got it in the middle, it's Hart. Brought down at the 46, but he got 10 on the play.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. I got to go get that 1st down. He did a nice job of it.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. Just keeps slinging it. Quarterback can pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
The Hilltoppers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Off play action. Just a short pass to the tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it fly deep downfield. And the ball is knocked away, incomplete, but he ran through the receiver to get there. The flag is down. Let's check the call. So the penalty for pass interference will allow this offense to run one more play on an untimed down. Nestled just inside that right upright. And with that, they've taken the lead. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
All right, guys, looks like we've got a great atmosphere today in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at L.T. Smith Stadium.
The Bearcats will kick it off to start the second half. Bringing it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. They'll open the second half with a run. That keeps the running game churning. Pickup of 5 to the 23.
And after having a nice gain like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and taking a shot. Because even if it's incomplete on second down, on third, you won't have that long to go.
And the Hilltoppers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Epps. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I mean, getting suffocated right away. How about the DB? Just seeing that initially, pulling the trigger, getting to him, get him on the ground, get the tackle for a loss.
Coming to the line of scrimmage on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw to the outside is complete. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
The Hilltoppers will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Makes the catch, wants to make a move upfield. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They'll start this drive 60 yards in front of them from their own 40. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
The D thinking bring some heat on 3rd and long from the 44. Back to pass, it's Watson. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
And the Bearcats will send out the punt unit. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Got it in the middle, it's Bolden. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too, but don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Shakes off the defender. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. He's got it on the right. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Hilltoppers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Motion from the wideout. The play action fake. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover. And the quarterback just couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger and get rid of the ball, and they knock it free.
So let's give the secondary tons of credit, right, Reese? They were doing an outstanding job in the back end in coverage, not allowing any receivers open, and that's why the QB had to keep holding it and keep holding it. That allowed the pass rush to get to him, and that created the turnover.
The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been at a premium, Jesse, and every possession seems like it could switch the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Reese, for this offense, just feels like they just haven't been as physical. And for this offensive coordinator, David, he's having to go deep into the playbook just to try to generate a first down.
Well, and the good thing is there's not a ton of game pressure because the other side's not scoring either. But if you can find that one thing get that one positive play, and then maybe you get those juices going and something can start to build.
Got his man quickly. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
It'll be 3rd and long. Scanning the field, it's Watson. Hauls it in. 3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35. We've come to the break. It's Western Kentucky holding the lead. And we've reached the end of the 3rd, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's Porter. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
The Bearcats with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Wants to throw again. Under fire. trying to make magic with his feet. Oh, a lot of space. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19.
Really nice timing. Nice job by the quarterback. He drops back to pass, but how about saving your best for when it matters most late in the ballgame? Biggest run of the day in a big moment.
And the Bearcats are on the move. Wants to throw on first down. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And that is a huge play for the defense. Offense has it in your red zone. You're trying to knock them out of field goal range. The only way you do that is by creating negative plays, and they get the sack.
The Bearcats with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Wants to throw. It's Watson. Looking to the big tight end. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit and coverage that forces the incompletion.
And the Bearcats are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws toward the end zone. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
And after that incompletion on 3rd and long, because of where they are in the field and because they have a narrow lead, you'd expect this team to just go ahead, kick the field goal, and take the points.
So now we'll line up for one of the biggest kicks of this game. And he'll need a little distance and accuracy, a 42-yarder from the left hash. And it's no good. He missed it. And after the miss, they're still down by a field goal. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. He'll pull it on the read. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line.
Nice job there by the QB on the zone read, because he's watching the D lineman and he knows he has to keep the football, and then he right away takes it upfield to get some positive yards.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Got enough for the first down and wants more. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got a lead late. We're going to run the football, and the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
Grabs it at the 25 in stride. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down. Fakes to grab. There he goes. And they finally get him stopped, but it's a big throw and catch, and he's down at the 5.
You know what's interesting? At this point of the game, with the lead in the 4th quarter, the defense is expecting them to run the ball, and because they're putting so many guys close to the line of scrimmage, they're taking advantage, throwing it 2 straight completions now back-to-back.
And this defense has to step forward. Not only do they have to get a stop, they've got to do it quickly to keep that time from running down. And he was fortunate to get that one back to the line of scrimmage at the 5. No gain on the play.
Yeah, and I think my thought process needs to be points are good. Because if I get a field goal here, that's fine. I take the lead by more than a field goal. They got to go the length of the field. But I also want to run this clock, let it continue to work. But the
touchdown, Hilltoppers! A great catch and run for 6.
And, man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the 2-score lead in the fourth quarter, everything going in their direction.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to throw, it's Watson. Gets it to him on the screen. Really good pickup on 2nd down there. Leaves them with 3rd and 2.
Love the execution there on the screen. The running back shows pass protect, last second turns around, so he's able to get the ball. The D linemen have already run past him, and now he can turn upfield for a big gainer.
The Bearcats come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Off the RPO, complete. And he'll move his way forward to the 1st down. They'll mark it at the 35.
Well, the defense just has not had an answer for this guy working out of the slot so far. Man coverage has been tricky. He's beaten them in zone. You might want to think about bracketing him where you've got a defender on the outside and the inside to see if you can force the quarterback to go somewhere else with the ball.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. Oh, it's picked off. What a bad time for a mistake like that. Those kind of plays can be huge for momentum. Even with the short return, they're set up at the 45. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. And now when you have a solid lead like this, Jesse, you find out, can you deliver the knockout punch?
And we're expecting them to come out here and just run the football, bleed the clock, let the big uglies up front get some push, and ball security, David. That's a premium.
Yes, take care of the football. Don't make any dumb mistakes. Be physical. And listen, if they want to load the box, don't be afraid to take a shot.
Finds a little space. And the defense wrestles him to the ground. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The Hilltoppers are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. Lots of running room. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
And the Hilltoppers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee.